And good morning, everyone. I'm Martin Folse. As promised, we come for a new barrage, or hopefully what may not be as bad a barrage as we thought, but nonetheless, it depends on where you are, what area you are, and how close you are to the center of circulation. I can tell you this. We had some rain last night. In areas, we had some pretty good rain. But as we're going to go through the maps this morning, you're going to see what I think is some pretty good news in two aspects. One, it's moving quicker. Now you may say, well, it's not moving 9 or 12 miles per hour like some storms we've covered in the past. It's better than 1 mile per hour that it was earlier. So the speed is very important to us in this area. Let's take you on the latest coordinates and the latest wind speeds and everything. That's the latest radar. What we do, it freezes right around, and we're gonna freeze it right around the time where we're at, and we'll keep refreshing it. But that is generally what our area is looking at right now. As you can tell, I mean, when we came on the air just a while ago, if you walk outside the HTV studios, it's not bad at all. Morgan City is in a lull. Our whole viewing audience, with the exception of Raceland, Lockport, Grand Isle, are pretty much cleared right now. Everyone watching us on UVerse in Covington and St. Tammany, naturally you're getting a lot of squalls right now. However, but if you look at Thibodaux, Labadeville, Napoleonville, Morgan City, Dulac, all the way down to Cocodrie, it's pretty calm at this point. We're going to be showing you some cameras in a little bit that are indicative of that, and that will prove that the satellite really never lies. So let's bring you the latest on the storm, and today we're just going to continue to monitor things as they go along. Of course, as of 7 a.m., the position 29.4 north, 92 west, winds at 60 miles per hour. So they have increased. This thing was trying to get its act together. The gust at 75 miles per hour, so the gusts are hurricane strength. The movement is north-northwest at 7 miles per hour. 7. That is the key. So this thing's going to move in quicker, and that's a good thing. The pressure, there you have it, at 995 millibars, it went down. And of course, that also is indicative of the fact that it's trying to strengthen. It's about 15 miles south-southeast of Intracoastal City, Louisiana. And so it's pretty much on land now, pretty much hitting. And let's go to some other satellite shots. And there's the forecast eye path, first of all. So it's gonna move quicker, which is good. We want to get this thing in and out. It's gonna track northeast, so the New Orleans area is going to experience a lot more rains as it moves past, but it should clear out nicely for St. Mary Parish, and at least western Terrebonne Parish shouldn't have any big problems going down the line, and we hope Terrebonne and Lafourche soon follow suit after that. And we'll just have to, I think Grand Isle is going to be pretty good once we get past the initial thunderstorms that are going to come in with it. Let's change our look. There's a storm surge, once again holding at 1 to 3 feet, and that also is very important. We don't want big storm surge with this. There you see the projected rainfall of Lee, and that above 8 inches, they're still holding to it, but I'm a little more optimistic than I was, say, Thursday or even yesterday, because it looks like this thing sucked in a lot of dry air. Let's keep moving right along. There you can see the animated stick. We've moved it. The eye is pretty much on land, and that is pretty much where it's going to hit land at this point, you know, west of Morgan City. However, if you see all that dry air that it has been sucking in, that has really disrupted this storm. Everything is east of the circulation of Lee. So there's no western part to this storm, which is a good thing. So once we can get it cleared and moved up, everyone west of it pretty much clears out. And we're sort of, Terrebonne Parish right now is really right in that circulatory area that has cleared out for the most part at this time. Let's move it along, Jay, if we can. There's the water vapor, as you can see, and I'm going to try to maybe show you on the back part just to point it out, if I can, on this back monitor, if we could get it on screen. Look at all the dry air that this thing has pulled in. And as you can see, this is the whole western side of the storm, and this being the eastern side where all the rain is still located. But look at all the dry air that it has pulled in, and this same trough is going to pick this storm up and move it in these areas. So that's good news. That's real good news for us in Terrebonne, Lafourche, St. Mary. Not saying that we're not going to still have some pretty good thunderstorms or rainstorms, not so much thunderstorms or possible tornadoes, but the rainfall has not come down like we thought it would be coming down. I thought we'd wake up today and we'd have a gully washer. Knock on wood, we may get a few of them, but not in general, so to speak. All right, Jay, let's pick up another map if we can. And there you see some live shots. That's Galliano. And look how calm. Right now, looking pretty good in Galliano on a Saturday morning. Not beautiful skies, but remember that shot last night as we brought it to you. The rain was coming down over there. Let's take another look if we can. And Jay's going to be moving to different cameras, and he'll come back to me and reset the cameras. But people, I'm optimistic right now. But we're still going to get some pretty good storms in certain areas of the viewing audience. So, you know, if you get one, it's going to be a while, and then it's going to relinquish. So we don't want to get everybody too alarmed. So, Jay, when you could give me another shot just to give us an idea, maybe Cocodrie. Well, that's Grand Isle right now. There you can see the surf is a little rough. We told you a little while ago when we looked at the. Can you go to the satellite shot showing the storm over Grand Isle right now? And that's why Grand Isle's kicking pretty good and the tower's shaking, is because there's a big squall line over Grand Isle right now, one of those feeder bands. You see the difference, though, between Terrebonne Parish and Grand Isle. I mean, look at the difference. But look at Grand Isle on this radar. See that big green blob on Grand Isle, which is right on the end of that circulation and those showers. Grand Isle's just inside that bad weather. And that's why you're seeing on that tower the wind and the bad conditions in Grand Isle, and the surf is a little rough because it's right over that. Hopefully those conditions will improve as the time goes on. So let's move it along, Jay. Do we have any more satellite? Yeah, how about the winds, Jay? Let's bring up a wind chart if we can to show everybody what our winds are pretty much looking like. And I appreciate Jay Serenier. He's been working hard in the control room. He's been with me for several storms. And there you can see the forecast models. Do we have that other map, Jay, which I'm not sure you had it up earlier, which was showing all of the wind directions and all? I think he had several wind maps. All right, he said he's going to pull that one up, but this will give you an idea of the different. This is the GFS forecast model, and it takes us all the way through. I'm looking for something a little more current, Jay, if you can. These are the projected winds that bring us all the way through. So he's going to punch that up to give us, and he'll come. We'll come back and take a few phone calls while we have them here. 879-1231, 879-1231, and also I'm sure that we'll hear from parish presidents today on what to expect and what they're thinking, and we're going to be in contact with police and let you know the situation. We do have camera crews on the way to Island Road, Pointe-aux-Champs, Prospect Road right now, which I think had a little water on it. So if you have water in your streets. Let us know where the water is and keep us up to date. And let's take a few phone calls while Jay pulls up that wind map for me. HTV, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
Hey, how you doing this morning, boy? This is Terry calling out of Ashland North. Hey, I got a question for you. You think this hurricane is going to strengthen up and become, you think it's going to become a hurricane or what?
I think it's sucking in a lot of dry air right now, so I think what you're seeing right here is pretty much what you're going to get.
Right, right. And we got a lot of water down here on Santa Monica and Fresno and Fallon Drive in the back here. We full of water, man. We went to sleep last night, woke up this morning, there's water everywhere.
Yeah, you had some pretty good rainstorms last night. So how much water would you think? But just street flooding, right?
Yeah, just street flooding.
Now, Terry, what you're looking at right now, is the water seem to be going down at all? The pump's working?
Oh, no. It started coming up.
Okay, because it's probably accumulating. But no houses have water, right?
No, not yet. I hope not. I hope we don't have any, though. Well, we don't need that.
Well, and the reason I'm asking, because that's the important thing. The streets are designed to take the water, because that's pretty much your gutter. And you just hope that the pumps work pretty good and keep it rolling.
Oh, it's streets and the yard. It's it's all over in the yards and everything.
Yeah, well, you don't want it in the house. That's it.
That's a good thing, man.
All right?
All right, no problem, bro. Thank you, man.
Thank you. Bye-bye. All right, Jay, I'm sorry you were talking to me. Oh, okay, I thought I heard you say something. Here we go. Let's take some more. Maybe I'm hearing things. HTV, welcome to Bayou Time. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Martin?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Shawnee Martin. I live in Cutoff, Louisiana.
How you doing, sir?
How high you think the water is outside the levees?
I'm going to get Reggie Dupre or Charlotte to call in, but they suspected that tide would move to 4 feet, which would probably be about 2.5 feet over what the normal water. I'm saying.
I live on public farms and all, and that's where I hunt and fish and all back there, and I was just wondering.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a massive amount, but I'm going to get an official statement when they come on this morning after they read all their gauges and all. But I think you're going to see 2.5 feet, anywhere from 1.5 to 3 feet over normal water conditions, depending on where you're at.
All right.
All right?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Jay, maybe you can, I'm not sure why I'm getting a little feedback in, but getting a little feedback from, might be the speakers on it here. Not quite sure. HTV, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
Hello?
Hey, you're on.
Hi, Martin. I live in Chauvin,
Okay.
like by the 2 Cent Foray Bridge, and we are flooded like crazy from probably Boudreaux Canal pretty much to, I would have to say maybe right past Wolf's Pharmacy.
Okay, all right.
Okay, there's water all over on the road. My question is, would they maybe be pumping, being that we're closed, like at the locks by Boudreaux Canal, and way toward home by the, which used to be the Kirk's Manufacturers,
Right.
log there?
Right.
Are they possibly maybe pumping into us at some point?
No, I don't think that's the case, but I'm going to get Reggie Dupre on the phone, who's in charge of the levees, and let him give us a dynamics, because I'm not sure. I mean, how far south has it flooded? Because I remember for the last storm, it was breached right around, well, close to where the Chabert home would be, where the late senator, and of course his wife is still living there. Behind that, on those levees, it was overtopping. But I mean, this is not the case here. You're saying this is more from the Boudreaux Canal area, right?
Yes, well, what we're trying to figure out if this is actual rain that we accumulated overnight, or if something's being pumped into us. Because I mean, this is kind of crazy. Because it's like if they're going to lock us in, why not pump us out?
Yeah. Well, let me find out from Reggie Dupre. Let me find, because now they had a gully washer last night. They had a few big storms, but let me find out exactly what the dynamics are in that area, because what's that, Jay? Okay, we did call in for Reggie as they were listening to you speak, so as soon as he calls back, we're going to get him on the phone for you, okay?
Yeah, because we're flooded all over. I mean, there's inches on the road on both sides. It's crazy.
Now, let me ask you this. No water in your home, right?
Oh, no, I'm elevated. I may have 8 inches in my yard right now.
Right.
And there's, like I'm telling you, from where the VFW is in Chauvin.
Right.
Practically all the way past Wolf's Pharmacy. I mean, in and out, depending how the highway raises and lowers.
Right.
We have, it's bayou to road. I mean, it's like a total lake.
All right, now look, here's a shot. Let me tell you what's happening. Look at this shot of cocodrie. This is normally land.
Well, that's what we're looking like right now.
Right. Now,
and
keep
side
in
of
mind,
the
here's the key, though, and I want you to understand this, and everybody else, and I feel your pain. I've driven in your area many times when it's underwater. The whole goal here is to keep it out of the houses, so we want to make sure we keep it out the houses, no water gets in people's home. I think you're going to see that water go down fairly quickly, okay, because I don't think this thing is going to do what most people thought. We're still going to be in some hairy situations in certain circumstances, and we can't tell what those are going to be. But you're getting a storm surge right now coming in, which we expected, anywhere from 2 to 4 feet, and I'm going to get the exact count once I get Reggie on. But I'm going to find out the dynamics on what's happening from the VFW to Wolf's, and if there are any types of levee problems or anything of that, I promise you I'll find out. But let the ones who are monitoring those levees tell me, because I don't want to speculate on.
Well, I understand a storm surge, but we're in the protection area.
You're right.
Where is this water coming?
No, you have a good question, and it needs to be answered, and we will try to get that answer for you.
Because, it's no sense to have levees all around, lock us in, and not suck us out.
Well, and I'm just saying, before we assume something happened, let me find out exactly, because he may say, look, we have pumps working, and he may say it's pumping out, but let me at least ask him the question, but I'll find out the answer for you.
Okay, well, one more question.
All right, go ahead.
Do you think we're, in wait of, several more inches of rain for this area where...
Well, let's show you the radar. I'm going to go to the radar and try to give you a better idea of what I'm seeing, because we woke up in Homer proper today to, when we coming on the air this morning, I'm going, this don't look too bad. But as you could tell by this, where you are in Chauvin, you're not experiencing a whole lot of rain right now, are you?
No, not at the moment.
I know, because look, you're in a big old dry area. Now, Jay, if we could expand on that, maybe bring out just a Gulf map to show her and everybody in that area what we're looking at, and he's going to reset that and bring you up a broader map. I just think this thing is sucking in a lot of dry air to the west of us. You see it right here?
Right.
And most of the rain is concentrated towards, let's say, Plaquemines and New Orleans and Grand Isle. They're getting a little more rain, so the further west you are, sure, there are going to be some situations where squalls come in, or feeder bands come in, you're going to get a good bit of rain, but you are not looking as bad as you were at this time yesterday or even last night because of all that dry air that it's been sucking in.
Right, I understand that, but my main point is, they build these structures to protect us, and they don't bail us out. Why would they recommend the people to stay in an area where they're not going to maybe pump us out or recommend us getting out when they're going to flood us and lock us in? That's my basically.
Well, let me make a suggestion to you, and I'm by no way trying to advocate any side, but I will tell you this, that the whole idea of a emergency situation is, and that's why I think there was a voluntary evacuation in the southern part of Terrebonne Parish and also in Lafourche Parish, because when water is trying to find its way, there are going to be areas that have water, but the key is, and I guess what I'm trying to get you to understand and everybody else is, we want to make sure, one, that you're safe.
Yeah, well, we
to-
look pretty safe because I think it's
Yeah.
something we kind of used to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it's just...
You're just getting tired of water.
It's just that they need to, arrange things where they can efficiently flow this water out in the meantime while we're being locked in.
Well, let me find out the dynamics, and let's get him on the phone.
And figure that out.
Yeah, let's get him on the phone, and let's find out the dynamics to what is happening, and let him educate us on it, because it's a whole lot of dynamics that are working, especially in a storm like this, and I don't want to attempt to take over his position as director, so we're going to let him tell you what's happening, okay?
Right. Okay, well, Martin,
All right.
look, you have a good day, and thanks.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.
All right, and as you could tell, I mean, a lot of concern, and what I stress again, the key thing, when this thing is all said and done and the water recedes, you don't want water in your house, you don't want water in your business, you don't want casualties from this, and you want to get back to work and some kind of normal activity as soon as possible. I know when public officials get together, and I know in talking to Reggie Dupre for several hurricanes, sometimes areas flood, and there's a lot of nerves and a lot of people get anxious, and I understand that because we've all been surrounded by the water at times, and water is a scary thing when you're looking at it. But if it's not in your home, you've dodged a bullet. So you just want to wait and let that water go down and take a deep breath, and everything works out. If you have water in your home, and speaking of water, look at this shot. The water, you can tell the water's up. That's what those locks are holding out. It was much lower on our shot yesterday. I would say that water's up probably 2.5 feet from what we showed you yesterday. So that is what the floodgates do. They hold out water. That's a live shot of the South Lafourche floodgate. So everything south of that, which includes LA1, and as a matter of fact, while we're talking about that and you're looking at that, I want to inform everybody that LA1 south of Golden Meadow floodgate, which is what we're looking at, is closed due to high water. It has been closed to traffic south of the Golden Meadow floodgate, and the closure is due to high water that has made the road impassable. Officials will reopen the highway once water recedes to a safe level. So there you can see south of the Golden Meadow floodgate, the water has risen substantially, and I think in looking at it, it's probably about 2 feet, 2.5 feet from when we showed you last. So that is why the gates are closed and holding back some of the surge that you are experiencing there in Lafourche Parish. Let's take some more phone calls if we can. HTV, welcome to the program. Go ahead, please.
Good morning, Martin. How you doing?
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. I see you have your 5 empty chairs next to you. You said they were open for the public officials to come and visit and
yes, ma'am.
share their concerns for their citizens.
Yes, ma'am. Always open.
Oh, great. I was wondering if you could find out some information for your citizens of Terrebonne Parish.
Okay.
How many legislators do you have in St. Mary Parish? I mean, Terrebonne Parish.
Terrebonne, quite a few.
How many sitting legislators?
I'm saying, Jay, bring the volume up a little bit.
How many sitting legislators for Terrebonne Parish?
What, two or three? I mean, senators, state reps?
Legislators.
Oh, probably out of 4 or 5.
Okay, I was wondering, have you heard of any of them? Heard from any of them today?
I've heard from Joe Harrison. I've heard from, of course, Michelle Claude. I hear from him 24/7.
Legislator.
Yeah, Joe Harrison.
Okay, and is he in the state? Is he in the state?
He's a state rep.
What I'd like you to find out is how many legislators of Terrebonne Parish is even in the state worrying about their constituents, and I'd like for you to find out, if you could, for the citizens of Terrebonne Parish, how many legislators may not even be in the state and may be in Texas at the LSU game.
Yeah.
Can you do that and give the information to the citizens of Terrebonne Parish?
We'll do my best for you. How about
Well,
that?
I sure appreciate it, and thanks for all you do.
All right, thank you for the call.
Waiting to hear your answer.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye. And one thing I've learned, I mean, and I sort of chuckle because I learned this from storms past, that when there is a football game or look, if you are in the heart of the decision-making process, and if you remember correctly, the OEP director lost his job in Terrebonne Parish over Hurricane Gustav because went to the LSU game. So, but if you're not in a decision-making process, it's a judgment call, and I think the lady is correct. It's a judgment call, however, and it's up for the public to decide what you can do, what's in the boundaries, and what you can't do. I mean, I didn't go to the Saints game, and I'm not self-proclamating here. I didn't go to the Saints game on Thursday, and certainly not going to the LSU game today, because this is what I do for a living. It's my time to bring information. However, when it falls on emergency situations, one, the parish presidents, of course, shouldn't be going to the LSU games or anything of that nature. And as far as I know, no parish presidents have vacated to go to the game. And I know that I've been in contact with both Ms. Charlotte Randolph and Mr. Michel Claude several occasions, and Mr. Claude has texted me several times this morning giving me information. So he's on top of it, and I think she has done a good job of getting her constituents to know. On the other hand, as far as state reps, senators, and everybody else, I can't answer that question because I don't know the answer to it, but I know they're not involved in the day-to-day operations of the storm, but not taking up for them, but they have different roles in storm-making decisions. So wanted to say that. Jake, can we get some satellite imagery up if we can right now while we're talking? And I don't know if did you find the wind speeds, or did we have that up while I was talking? All right, go ahead and bring the wind speeds up, and let's check that out if we can for our audience. And that way those are your wind speeds that are taking place right now and what direction that they're coming from. So, with that said, look at the winds. And that Homa is right in the center of circulation. Therefore, what little eye that you could say formed in this disorganized tropical storm is right around Homa and Morgan City at this time. So Grand Isle is off of that circulation, and they're getting those feeder bands, and that's why you see that tower camera in Grand Isle getting blown around pretty good, and the surf's up. In Golden Meadows on the fringes of those feeder bands. New Orleans definitely getting it. Plaquemines Parish is getting it. Now, Jay, if we can, Jay read my mind. If you can go to Grand Isle, that's what I'm talking about. You see the rain hitting the lens of the camera on the tower shaking a little bit. So the difference between Homa and Grand Isle is substantial at this point. The surf's up in Grand Isle, but Homa not experiencing a lot of activity. Now, Jay, can we go to the Cocodrie shot, which is directly south of, Homa, and we'll try to give you a perspective of that to sort of match it up with what I'm saying here. And he'll get that up for you in a second. But check out your winds wherever you live, because these are where they're. Now look at Cocodrie in the center of circulation. No rain falling. The little flashes you're seeing looking like rain is just noise in the camera. But the waters are coming in. You can tell that. Look at the little sheen right on the bottom of the camera. That's a parking lot. Well, that's a slip, but the parking lot's all around it. So there is some water coming in from the southern part of Terrebonne Parish, which is expected. Okay, and it's not going to be catastrophic, but it is expected. But look at the skies behind this. I think I see a little blue. Okay, and what I'm trying to tell you is I think that circulation is either broadened or it is shifted, which is better for Terrebonne and Lafourche. It is much better for St. Mary, much better for Terrebonne, and it's still Lafourche and Grand Isle going to get squally weather, But I'm telling you, this thing could have been a lot worse. And I'm not saying we're out the woods yet. But Michel Claude is going to be coming on in about 5 minutes. Is he coming here or is he on the phone, Jay? He's going to be in the studio. And I want to thank the parish president. He's come on several times. And certainly, I think that's what, the lady was alluding to, the fact that we do have 5 chairs over here. And I remember in storms past, they're full. And, it was a good question. I guess we'll see where it goes. All right, let's take a break right now. When we come back, parish president's going to be arriving, and we're going to get you some more information. We have video crews out. And, in these storms, we send video crews out. Well, naturally, we want to get the shots and all, but we don't want to sensationalize anything and come back and say, my God, look what's happening. Because it has been quiet for the most part, but we're trying to get cameras to the southern part of the parish, and especially since one of you called up and told us that we had water from the VFW to the Wolf's Park, to Wolf's Pharmacy. We want to make sure we get a camera there, Jay, so as soon as you can dispatch a camera out there, let's make sure somebody heads that way. And matter of fact, is Chris in from his other shot, Jay? Can you maybe send him that way? All right, and that'll be good. Now look at Grand Isle. Here's the Grand Isle shot before we take a break. We just told you they're on the fringe. Well, that's what the fringe looks like. We have some rain, we have some wind, and as the crow flies, that 40 or so miles from Houma to Grand Isle, look at the difference. Look at this car driving in the water. So there's water on the streets of Grand Isle. And look at the car. You see the car coming in the water that it's driving in. So the camera tells you the whole story. That's what they woke up to, and we woke up to pretty good weather, but that's because we are in that broad area of the center of circulation, and it's worked out well for some parishes, and it's not going to work out well for other parishes. Let's take a break. When we come back to the phone lines, we'll have the parish president of Terrebonne Parish in. We have calls out to Reggie Dupre, and maybe he can explain some of and also to Miss Charlotte Randolph. We'll try to get them on the phone also. We'll be right back.